Good morning, Academy 55. David Kahn here on Wednesday, the 10th of September. It's 5 to 8 in the morning, looking at the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame, following the fortunes of our Academy 55 indicators and strategy. So what can we see this morning? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at, because at the moment, if I go on the 5 minute time frame, we are close to becoming on the buy zone. So we wouldn't want to be taking this sell here, being true to ourselves. And we know if price gets into the buy zone, we're looking for the next buy. So that's indeed what we're going to be doing. So in the meantime, we'll look at the bigger picture and take the indicators off, go up to the daily time frame, and discover we got a big fat doji, what they call a doji, which is an indecision candle. So is this the time when they are making the decision whether to carry on with this sell going down to this imbalance here? It's too far away for me to draw up, but there is imbalance on this candle here. No selling power that side, no selling power. So this portion from that wick there to there is all in balance. Are they going to go and tap into that, or are they going to continue the move up, depending on the state of the euro and the dollar at the time? Questions one must raise. So going to the 4 hourly time frame now, and again we can't see any immediate. There is a little bit of an imbalance on here on the 4 hourly, so I guess we'll mark that up. Just here to there, there's a little bit of imbalance. Looking for lines of support and resistance. So put my line on. There's nothing there on the hourly. I'm sorry, in the 4 hourly. So we'll go down to the hourly, and there is nothing of great significance. Well, that line there, I suppose. Yeah. So we'll mark that up. As you can see, support there. It rested there, but nothing else really of any significance. Go back to the 4 hourly again. Put the indicators back on. Trend line. Going to draw a trend line. I'm interested in the highs. Connecting it with that. So we go above there. We could say there's a breakout. But this is on the 4 hourly. I don't like to draw it any more than less than the hourly, really. And then we'll put our, go down to the 5 minute. .5 minute, not 15 minute. There we go. And now we say we're into the buy zone. Buy zone there. And I'm going to mark another buy zone This is close to it there. So we go back to the minute. Put our indicators back on. And as you can see, we had a sell. Let's just paper trade this one, see what's going on. Now the buy zone was down there. And I like to keep a minimum of 2.2 pips away. So you could have caught that one. And that would have been your 2% there with ease. If anybody caught that, congratulations. That came at a time when I was setting up for today, well, 5 to 8, when I was saying hello. So we missed that one, but never mind. Underneath that trend line. Did that a little bit too late, didn't I? But there we go. Timing is personal, your own time. But now, as you can see, oh right, we've look at that. Wow, it's gone down into the next buy zone. It's taking out that imbalance that I drew up on the 4-hourly, so we can remove that. See how that worked? See, yep. It not only equalized, but now we're in the buy zone. So we're concentrating on the next buy, if at all. So, but we've got a long way to go yet. It's a rather deep. We've created lots of imbalances up here. So I wouldn't be surprised, looking at that, if price goes to up here, like nearly to buy situation, messes around on this support and resistance line or that one, or even touches that and then turns around again for a deeper sell. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. But you've got to trade what the market is prepared to give you. But this is the scenario we're looking for. A long position there. In anticipation of the trend line, because that's above the wave, the trend line going green. But I don't think that's a scenario that's gonna happen. We'll have to wait and see. You never know. I mean, you was on my live yesterday. We was waiting for a buy, and all of a sudden the sell came up. So just reading the. Now we're creating imbalances on these candles here. So in recognition, we're looking for the next buy. Going to turn my MT4 on. I like to keep a minimum of 2.2 pips away. So put in 22 into your trade assistant. Put the line chart on. Making sure your risk to reward is in purple. Your lot calc is in purple. You've got that all important 1%, because we only risk 1% of trade. No more than that. And sell, buy, sell. So we're waiting for the next buy alert. We've been in the buy zone twice actually, in two different buy zones. So we're definitely waiting for the next buy. And price is coming up to fill all these imbalances, but it's creating imbalances down here now. So we'll put it on the 5-minute time frame. And there is definitely imbalance there that's got to be tapped into. But I do think there's a deeper sell really taking place. So are they going to come down up and hit the purple line again before reacting and going down for a deeper sell, taking all these imbalances before they go, or even before that, like they are now? I just noticed something just here, look, where the 2% is there. That is a what we call a key zone. I'll go back on the trading view. This is a key zone area. So that's going to be marked up really, because that's a significant area where longer term traders like to take out trades, put in trades, and investors, I should say, as well. So that area there is a what we call a key area, anything with 3 zeros at the end of it. So price sort of respected that, and then we might have found ourselves a new zone to go in down here, which wouldn't help us really, because these are buy zones. So I'd like to see price going down deeper and deeper. So this is where we are at the moment. If you was on my live yesterday, you would have seen that I took a sell trade and I got out with 1.5% to go, because we was in the buy zone, and I respect the buy zones and the sell zones, and we was more or less in a buy zone waiting for my 2%, which was frustratingly close, and I saw a buy candle. So I thought, you know what, price can go like that, so I'm going to take it at 1.5. And but I was proved wrong, because it did go for 2%, but regardless of that, I was very happy with my 1.5% that I got yesterday. And indeed, I'm 7.5, personally, I'm 7.5% towards my 10% monthly target, which is really good news. Me personally, next week I'm going on vacation abroad. I'm looking to do one day next week, the Tuesday perhaps. But details of that for Academy 55 members will follow. We will let you guys know what's going on in a good and timely time. But this is the scenario for the buy that we want. So what we'll do now is we will play this for members of Academy 55. Here's Steve.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself, and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Right, we haven't missed nothing. This is the scenario for a potential buy. We're getting a bit close now, so I'm going to turn my MT4 on. Once again, make sure you got your risk to reward in purple, your lot calc in purple, that all important 1%. I like to keep this button on also, so you can close all trades. There are other ways within MT4 that you can do exactly that, but we pay for this trade assistant, so why not use it? So this is where we are at the moment. Like I do say, we've been in the buy zone on the 5-minute time frame, so we're looking for the next buy. We've got all this imbalance up here that needs to be filled, and just where that wave is, that's where the stop loss will go if we get a buy alert and everything turns green. But the indicators are telling us we're still on a sell trajectory. The volume ribbon is quite wide apart, still facing downwards, so we possibly will have a large stop loss to entry level by the time these lot flatten out, but we'll see. Gotta wait for everything to go green. Green volume ribbon, green wave, green trend line, and where the wave goes green, that'll be closest to our entry, which will be up here somewhere. And then and of course, that all important buy alert, we'll be maybe getting ourselves a buy. But we're gonna wait and see what the market gives us. Again, yesterday, all those who were on, I waited 35, 40 minutes with you guys until something happened. Focus was a bit strained, but got there in the end. And as you can see right here, if I draw it up on trader view. Oh, sorry, MT4 here. That is the key area, key zone area. And indeed, we've got a buy alert now. Just flashed on and off. That's the key area there, which price is respecting the key zone area. Anything with 3 zeros on it. Psychological area. And we've got the buy alert. I in turn want to get rid of that line. So you double click it and then you can delete it. But right where we are now is a key zone area. We have indeed got a buy alert. But here's where I want my stop loss. So price needs to be up here and everything needs to be green before we get into any buy trade. Not rushing into things just because you get a buy alert. See it many times that price will come down because this is imbalanced down here, don't forget. So price could be faking us out and go down and pick some more buy orders up in the buy zone there. So we have to wait for the other indicators to give us some more confluence. But we'll stick it, keep it there, and see what happens. For anybody watching on my YouTube channel and you're wondering, maybe it's your first time here, wondering what's going on, I will drop in a link for a recorded webinar that we did quite a while ago explaining our philosophies, our Academy 55 indicators, what they're all about. So if anybody after, there's the link there. You can go and watch the recorded webinar if you're on my YouTube channel. For everybody else watching me live here at Academy 55, who's in the room with me, you can watch what's going on. Obviously, a bit quicker than the ones in YouTube. There's a bit more of a delay because of streaming. But I'm flicking over to the 5-minute time frame now. And you can see, according to the 5-minute, we are on a deeper sell. So I wouldn't be surprised if price goes back down again, picking up more buy orders. But there is imbalance there. But indeed, it is coming back down again now. And I won't be tempted to take another sell because we are in buy zone territory. Well, that one has been let's have a look. Yeah, that buy zone is back again. So I'll mark that up again. Apologies for that. I thought that would have disappeared. But it's well and truly there. So we are in buy zone territory. So knowing that, if price comes down here and takes that parallel SAR above and another sell alert, I'm not going to be taking a sell because we've got buy orders here, buy orders there. So it would be very risky. And what it's doing now is going sideways, just like it did yesterday, taking orders. And if there's enough one way or the other, that's the way it's going to go. In the meantime, I'm going to refer back to Steve again, who's going to tell you a bit more about the trade assistant.
Hi, this is Steve, and in this short video I'm going to just show you the settings for the Trade Assistant to make sure that you've got the minimum 2 pip stop loss on the Euro USD or any currency pair, and how you set it for if you're trading a commodity like the US 100, because the settings are slightly different. So here you can see we're on the Euro USD chart here. I've got my risk to reward on the Trade Assistant locked at 2 to 1. I've got my risk balance at 1%. Lot calculator is on, and my little purple button here between the buy and sell is also activated. So we're ready to bring the Trade Assistant onto the chart. Now you'll notice here that we've got the stop loss set at 20. That indicates 2 pips when you're on a currency pair. And we can actually change that here by typing over it. So if I type in there 40 and just tab off here, you can see now we've got a stop loss of 4 pips because we're on a currency pair. In this example it's Euro USD, but it could be Euro GBP or any currency pair. So let's just put that back to 20 for our 2 pips. We'll click off here, and now we'll just put the lines on so that you can see that is showing us 2 pips over here on the actual tool, ready to actually get involved with a trade if that's what we were going to do. But that's not what we're here for now. I'm going to click off the lines here, and what we're going to do is we're going to change our chart from Euro USD to US 100, and I can do that by dragging it onto the screen here. You'll see it now switch over to US 100, and now you can see that stop loss says 20, and that's wrong for a commodity. So what we want to do here is come in here and type 2000. This is the equivalent of 2 pips on a commodity such as US 100. So now when I put the lines on, you'll see we've got the number 2000 here, and if I just zoom around, you'll notice the 2 to 1 still applies, 2000 and 4000 here, where we've got a $1,000 trade in place, risking $1,000 to win $2,000. So that's the number that you need to get your 2 pip minimum on. So the minimum number would be 2000. You could have anything above that if you're on a commodity like US 100, and the number will be 20, which is 2 pips equivalent if you're on a currency pair such as.
Right, thanks, Steve. As you can see, we are getting to a stage now where we may be getting into all these imbalances here. The volume has turned green. The wave still red, and that's where I want my stop loss eventually. But the trend line is still very much pointing at like 4 o'clock, if you can imagine a clock face. But that could go to 3 o'clock horizontal, in other words, and turn green quite quickly. We've sort of recognized this key zone area again. So obviously this is an area where maybe lots of sell trades may be taking place and pushing it back down again. But yeah, as you know, we go after a very small monthly target. And the reason we do that is to take pressure off ourselves. You can do a lot with 10% a month. Give yourself a target to go for. Now we're creating higher highs here now. Are we going to go right back into these areas here? We've got the buy alert already. So, and we are indeed kicking into these imbalance areas. I possibly will want to get my 2% just underneath the purple line there, because we got imbalance there, and also it might rest there. Right, I'm going to get in. And as you can see, I was a bit late to the party. And now my 2% is above the purple line. So guess what I'm going to do? When price gets to there, I'm going to be putting got a green wave. I was anticipating the green trend line, but we got a green wave, a green volume ribbon, buy alert, anticipation of the green trend line, which didn't happen. But because we had a big volume push there, that made me do what I did, because I don't wish it to go too far, because it could have gone up there, but it is what it is. We got all this imbalance here, which is good, but we also got imbalances down here, so we have to hopefully there'll be a lot more buys than there are sells. And that trend line still hasn't gone green yet, but if it gets up to there, certainly the trend line will go green, and I'll be honest with the indicators. And all the time we've got imbalances here as well, so we know price needs to get there eventually. It all depends whether there's enough buy orders to push price up. The fact that it's broke this key area is encouraging a bit as well, but who really knows? We also know from history that because price has been into the buy zone, we've got a 75% win rate with these trades, but that also means there's a 25% chance of a loss. But because it's only 1%, we take it on the chin, and we know in the long term on the longer game, it's a marathon, not a sprint. On the longer game, we are golden. With our strategy, you can trade twice a day. I mean, if you win the first one, I would suggest that's it. But you could effectively trade again, and that will obviously, if you lose the second trade, you're only 1% up, but if you win, you're 4% for the day, which is really good. But it does change it can change your mentality if you take the second trade after winning, as well as it can change your mentality if you take the second trade after losing as well. It all depends on the strength of your discipline, you personally, and how you feel about it, and the conditions of the trade, etc., etc. But a lot of the time I go and trade the NAS 100, also known as the US 100, at 2:30 p.m. UK time. That's when the New York Stock Exchange opens, and then volume increases usually by about 2 or 3 times at least from what's been happening previously, and using the Academy 55 indicators to great effect to get my trades that way. So that's what I do personally, because I've got that in my lifestyle. I can do that. Not every day. Some days, if I don't feel like it, I don't trade. Again, that all suits the 10% monthly target that we have. But now we're stopping at this area here. But I'm nowhere near, given it, if I put my stop loss to my entry, there's nowhere near enough wriggle room to do anything with that. I could get taken out very, very easily. So I'm not going to be looking at a possible 1% loss, which is not a big deal, really isn't. But we got imbalances down here. So the longer term, if London wants to take a buy situation and they can see the euro getting higher and higher and higher because of the state of the dollar, then they could either use a news item to come down all of a sudden and take out this imbalance and then do what they want to do. Or if not, they might wish to get this imbalance sorted out before they carry on up. We'll have to wait and see. But the trend line has gone green, like I anticipated it did 4 minutes ago, actually. Volume is kicked out, unfortunately, at the moment. And we're going sideways, which is not good. But it is what it is. And like I say, we know I have a 75% chance of a win, which is a lot better odds. I hope you agree. So we'll just, and like I always say, there is actually no point sometimes in watching the trades, because all it does is diminish your mentality. There's nothing that can be done except you thinking, oh, biting your fingernails. Is it going to? Is it? Well, price will do what it's going to do. It's nothing to do with you. You made your decision. You're either accepting the 1% loss or the 2% gain. So at this juncture, I recommend walking away from the screen, making a cup of tea or a coffee, or, well, you know what I mean. There's no point going through, putting yourself through this anguish. After about an hour, if you had this sort of, and you were in profit, then I would take what little profit I had and then come back again. Because the longer you're in sideways movement, the more you are susceptible to outside news, influences, whatever, and your focus and your discipline are more risk of just going completely. So if you're in a little bit of, say, for example, this is about an hour in, you was in a little bit of profit, I would, I mean, everybody's different. I would take my little bit of profit and wait for another setup, maybe another time. But we are where we are. And like I say, a 1% loss is not a big deal, really isn't. I want you guys really to treat a 1% loss the same way as you would treat a 2% gain. It's all part of the process. The important thing is to wait for what we think have decent opportunities, i.e. the price being in the buy zone on the 5 minute, which it was down here. And staying away from this here, and this happened after we took the trade, which is unfortunate, but you wouldn't want to be taking a trade when you see a lot more of that, you know? I mean, that looks good, but all I can see is creating imbalances, which is still a sign that price could come down and get all these imbalances here. So, you know, it's all about timing, how many buy orders there were, and we don't know that. What we do know is after the amount of time we've been doing this, we got a 75% chance we'll win. And over a period of time, that really helps. Like I say, I'm looking at the trade with you guys, and but the choice has been made. There's nothing for your mentality to look at this trade, but I understand this is the process we're accepting because we want to see this in operation. But we are, although we're going sideways, I am encouraged by the fact we're going higher highs. So it's looking okay at the moment. But as you know, things can happen. And also I'll be governed a little bit by the parabolic SARs as well. Once we get parabolic SAR up to there, I might be tempted to put my stop loss to my entry. That's if price goes at least more than 1% of the trade to give it a bit more wriggle room. But also it depends on how is your own personal mentality if we had a loss. Now, if we had a loss, do you get right back again and look for another trade as quick as possible? No. You need to train yourself not to do that, not to be susceptible to greed and stuff like that. So the parabolic SAR is just underneath the so I want to put my stop loss to my entry now, because we are at the point where it might bounce or break. Obviously, I'm hoping it's going to break, but it might bounce. And also we got the parabolic SAR down there. If it flips through there, I could well see it coming down to take all that out, all these imbalances down here. Very may well do. And I'm quite happy with the fact that I'm on a risk-free trade now, so I can't lose. And if it breaks even, I'd like to obviously earn a bit of money while I'm with you guys. But if it breaks even, I've protected my equity. I've learned a bit more. And indeed, yeah. So let's just draw it up on the I was 4 pips when I 4 pips stop loss, if I remember rightly. So down there, 4 pips, which is there. Brings by 2% to there, which looks about right. So this is where we are at the moment. Parabolic SAR is above there now, so but it indeed bounced off the purple line. We're looking for a bit more of oomph to push through that purple line, but you know, that's this purple line is the EMA 462. It's the average of 462 of these 1 minute candles, which is a Fibonacci number. And now I'm going to do my bit where I raise my stop loss into stop profit now and put it underneath that parabolic SAR. And now I've got $131 on a $100,000 account, just in case things turn around a bit. Got a little bit of money, just in case things turn, which of course they could do at any time. So 25% chance they will do, because we've got a 75% chance that we'll get there. Because we know that because of all the extensive back testing we've done over the last nearly, well, 18 months now. So every minute it goes by, like for example, I'm going to raise that now. Now I can get $235 on a $100,000 account, moving it into stop profit all the time, just in case things turn around. I've done that before, and what's happened is prices come down here. If I kept my stop loss and then gone back up again, to reach my 2% target. But that's fine. Of course, it all goes towards my monthly target total of 10%. I'm at 7.5% at the moment, so I'm doing pretty well as far as that's concerned, because it's only the 10th of September now. So at this juncture, I'm going to open up the chat, I think. So if anybody's got anything they wish to talk about or text me about what's been going on here, I'm going to raise that a bit more to there. Now I've got $314 on a $100,000 account. Because we're going sideways now. Is it their intention to stay under the purple line? We're looking for a bit more oomph. They're picking up orders again. Thing is, are they going to be picking up? Because is the latest data good news for the euro, bad news for the euro? So all the time they're picking up orders. I'm moving stop profit now, $419. Because they're picking up orders. That's why it's going sideways. But hopefully, from my point of view, we are going to be picking up not so many sell orders and have a bit more buying power to brush through there to get our 2%. But all the time they're picking up orders, if they do pick up more sell orders, it'll go whoomp. But if it does, well, it does. And I've got $419 already, so that's fine. Obviously, I'd like it to go to the 2%. But in recognition of the fact that things are very not as trendy as we would like. Now I've got well $2 short of $500 on a $100,000 account, which is fine. I'm really happy with that because I've protected my equity. Not only that, I've added to it. So if it comes down and forces that parallel SAR above price, because the volume ribbon is running out, but all the time we are susceptible to hopefully some more buyers coming in and pushing past there. I certainly hope that is the case, but I've made sure that I'm going to be having a little bit of profit just in case. So I can bring that up again a bit more underneath that parallel SAR. $576 now on a $100,000 account, and I'm happy with that. But all the time, hoping that there's some more buy orders will come in to sweep past that purple line. And indeed, I'm on $1,300 overall there, just there. But giving it a bit of wriggle room now. And learning not to be upset, disappointed, or anything like that at all. Accepting price will do what it's going to do. And recognizing that. So I'm going to go up to $655 now on a $100,000 account, and accepting if price is rebounding off this purple line, there's not enough volume to push it through. it tried to there on that candle there, but as you can see, and I might indeed be out for $655, and I'm fine with that because I'm in profit, and I can go, if my lifestyle allows it, I can go and trade another day. But if at the same juncture, if price goes up to there again, I might recognize it keeps bouncing and breaking off this line. I think I'm going to leave this here. I'm happy with this $655, 0.63%. And hopefully we're going to get enough buy orders to push right through there. We'll see. But at the same time, recognizing that it tends to bounce or break off this line here, but hopefully we will push it through because we've got a 75% chance it will. Look, bounced off it again. Look. Shame. We'll see. Yeah, we're going sideways, picking up orders as we go. I'm just over 1%. I'm thinking about maybe no. I'm quite happy with what I've got. And I'm going to raise it just a little bit, smidge. There we go, $700 now. And indeed it's flipped. So, and indeed I'm out for $700. And I'm happy with that because it's not had the volume, unfortunately, to break that at the moment. So again, going back to trading view, push there, and we got out trend line just there. Yeah. And there we go. So indeed, that is my take profit area. Take profit, and that equates to 0.7%, which I'm fine about. Now, it could be that I could have kept that and price could come down here and then turn back again and get that 2%. I accept that. And I just text chat and she said $700 on any day is a win. $700. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a $700 by the time FTMO take out their 80%. God, maths this time in the morning. I haven't got a calculator. Is about is about $600 roughly. $600 into English is about 400, no, yeah, about 550 quid, more than an average day's wage. I'm sure you will agree. So I'm happy with that. So celebrate the win. Go buy yourself a bar of chocolate. Or if you'd have been putting the kettle on and not known about any of this, you're still very much in it, and you've got a 75% chance of it getting to this area here. So, with that all being said, guys, what I'll do now is I'll take a screenshot of that, copy the link, get my journal, put my journal on, put my screenshot in there. This is for all members of Academy 55, get to see this. And all the lives I take are recorded in the back office. So it's on the EUR USD, 8 to 9 in the morning, and it's the Wednesday. And it was a buy, it was it won, and I got myself 0.7%, which has now put me on 8.2% of my monthly target, and it's only the 10th of September, so I'm really quite happy with that. And so, and even later on, I could write myself a little bit of comment how I felt about the trade. You can, all the Academy 55 members get to keep this. What they'll do is they'll make a copy of this and then delete my screenshots or whatever, and then have that blank and make it their own and do their own trades, see how they get on. Let's pull that down. There we go, David, trader David. So that's where we are, guys. And as you can see, doesn't mean to say it's going to hit my stop loss if I hadn't moved it, but I don't care. I made myself a little bit of profit. If my lifestyle allows it, I can go on and trade and wait for another good scenario to trade again today. Or if not, I'm happy. I haven't bitten into my equity. And that's my own personal way of trading. Everybody's different. Like some people will just leave it there, and like I said, they've gone to make a cup of tea, wouldn't even know about any of this because they're happy with the fact that there's a 75% chance of a win or a lose, and treat 1% the same as they would a 2% win. But so whichever way you wish to trade is entirely your own personal choice. So you do you, I'll do me. But I'm sure you will agree that the Academy 55 strategy, the way it works, we're really happy with it. And everybody in Academy 55 is really happy with it. And we've reached the hour. So thank you very much for your time today. Have a great day. I'm back again 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. So have yourselves a really great day today and tomorrow. And Anna's saying thanks. And thank you very much for being here today, and have a great day. Cheers for now.